Yeah, I'm super shiny. That's alright. Hello. It's been a while. In case you weren't aware, back in March, our apartment building burned down. So as in the wake of any good crisis, I have dyed my hair. And I like my new hair because it's darker than I expected. People have been incredibly generous and given us furniture and sewing supplies, and we're settled into a new place now. So we're trying to get back to something resembling normal, whatever that is. About a month ago, I discovered that we have the Texas Lavender Festival in June, and I thought, that would be a great, first outing after a year of pandemic lockdown and fire, tragedy, and nonsense, and that would be a great reintroduction into doing fun things. My first thought was something like frothy white Edwardian floof. There seems to be a trend for these dresses right now. A lot of people on YouTube are making them, a lot of people on Instagram are making them. Who am I to deny a trend? Picked up some white batiste. I have about 10 yards of it, and that's going to be the main fabric for this dress. And then I have five or six different types of lace that I hope to maybe incorporate into it somehow. The festival is 6 days away, and yeah, so I didn't really get off my butt fast enough to get this one going. But I think if I keep it simple enough, I have my patterns already picked out, I have my fabrics, I have all the supplies I need. I think if I just marathon it, then I can get it done in time. So for the bodice, it's more of a shirt waist at this point, but I'm going to be using the Folkwear Gibson Girl blouse pattern. And the skirt pattern is one that I drafted out based on Margaret Blair's 1897 drafting instructions. I've already made a couple of skirts and petticoats with that, so I know that one's going to be pretty easy to put together. It's just going to be putting the lace into it that's going to take a little bit of extra time. Okay. Bodice first, I guess. Alright, so I've been looking at this folklore pattern and it seems pretty simple. And I've already cut out all the pieces to my size. And one of the main reasons I chose this one is because it has this yoke that I wanted, and it was one of the few historical patterns that actually comes in my size. So yeah, I'm already pretty far behind. It's pretty late in the day. It's already 8:30, but I mean, I was just about to curse myself and say, how long can it take? So I in fact have not been sewing for the past 2 hours like I thought I would be doing. I had dinner and I watched too many TikTok videos, and now I'm finally going to sew. I don't know why I'm procrastinating on this project so much. It's 10:30 at night. I will probably get tired about 1 o'clock, which gives me a couple of hours to actually get some stuff done. So I'm hoping maybe I can actually cut everything out and get the lace laid out on it to see how it's supposed to be. And maybe I'll even get the skirt cut out tonight. Maybe. I'm feeling a little ambitious about this yoke piece. So I'm thinking of doing the pin tucks and the insertion lace when I don't really need to. I don't have to do all that nonsense, but it will be really pretty, and I really like lace.
So the easiest way to actually do the pin tucks and the lace on the yoke part is to just cut a big rectangle of fabric first, do all of the pin tucks and the insert lace, and then you use the pattern piece to cut out your final actual yoke piece. And that's actually how they tell you to do it in the pattern too, which I didn't know because I just figured this was the easiest way, and haha, they agree.
Okay, it's just about 1 o'clock in the morning and I'm super tired. And I'm at a good stopping point right now where I've gotten to this last bit of lace that I'm gonna sew on. I didn't expect it to take that long, but it did. I don't think I'm gonna switch gears tomorrow and work on the skirt until I get the shirtwaist done. That way, at least I have that and I can build outfits with that. But right now, it is time for sleep. So I'll see y'all tomorrow. Welcome to Frumpy House Dress Hour. So I bought this dress at Target when they were doing like their cottagecore prairie dress thing, thinking it was super cute. Fitting rooms were closed, so I just kind of bought it and hoped for the best. And there is no room in this bust at all. Today I'm going to get the yoke finished. I'm really hoping I can get this shirtwaist done today and maybe get the skirt cut out. But if I don't have time, then that's fine. I'm not married to that idea. Okay, so now that the yoke is actually finished, the rest of the construction seems pretty straightforward and pretty fast. It's just like sew the seams together and then gather the front and the back to the yoke pieces and then attach sleeves. I think the tricky part is going to come when we get to the... Oh, air conditioner shut off. I think the tricky part is going to come when we get to the collar, because I haven't quite decided what I want to do for that yet. It recommends using French seams for everything, which makes sense because this is kind of semi-sheer fabric. So that is going to add a little bit of time, but probably not too much. And then, yeah, I think I'm going to be able to finish this today if I don't get caught doing something weird to the sleeves, which will probably happen. Okay, well, my battery died and I kept sewing while it was charging, so I've gotten quite a bit of it done at this point. So the body is all sewn together. The yoke is attached in the front, and then one half of the back yoke is attached and the shoulder seam is sewn in together. And now it's pretty late and I have to work tomorrow. So I think for tonight, what I'm going to do is just attach the yoke to the other back section right here and get this shoulder seam finished and then call it a night, and then finish up the sleeves tomorrow and the collar and the closure. Okay, day 3. Tonight I'm going to try and get the sleeves cut out, assembled and attached, and get the collar cut out, assembled and attached, and get the closure down the back done. And then the shirtwaist will be finished, and then for the next 3 days I can concentrate on the skirt. It's already 7:30-ish and I'm not feeling super jazzed about how much I have left to do tonight, so I don't know. I've really gotta power through because I'm tired and I don't want to sew, but I gotta sew, and I guess I just gotta get to it. It is day 4, I think, and I am very tired. I stayed up far too late last night. The only goal I have tonight is to get all the pieces cut out, which I think I can do. All I really need to do is cut out the fabric, and I've been thinking about cutting layouts all day to try and get this like to the fastest cutout time possible. So I think I can get it done relatively quickly, and I'm gonna set a timer for myself tonight so that I get to bed at a reasonable hour and not at 1 o'clock in the morning, because the girl's tired. All of me's tired. My arms are tired. Why am I holding this? Why am I not using a tripod? Okay, so the skirt pieces are all cut out now, and the original dress that I was thinking of copying had these little pin tucks all around the waist area, and I thought that maybe I had time to include that on my own skirt, but now I think it would be better to not try. And maybe in a future skirt I will include those. A future, much froofier, more lacy, pin tucked over the top skirt. But for now, I think I'm just going to keep it with some lace at the seams and some ruffles at the bottom and some lace dividing the like ruffled area from the top half. So seams, that's seams. So I'm going to now sew the seams together and add the lace to the seam area above the ruffle section. And if I can get that done before bed tonight, that shouldn't actually take too long. So yeah, that's where I am. And tomorrow night then I can do the ruffles and call it good. Last night I got the skirt put together, and for some reason right now it's reading like Edwardian nurse. I'm not quite sure why that is, because white is like the last thing you would want to wear as a nurse, but that's kind of the vibe I'm getting. So to de-nursify it, ruffles, lace, waistband to finish, maybe pin tucks. I'm feeling ambitious, so I'm thinking pin tucks. Okay, sewing time. So I had a moment of absolute clinical insanity and decided to put pin tucks in the front of the skirt. And now I can finish insetting the lace and then move on to the ruffles on the bottom tier. It's already 10 o'clock at night, so I don't know if I'm gonna get this done tonight, but if not, I still have tomorrow night. I didn't want to continue sewing the skirt tomorrow night. I wanted to do other things, but yeah. Let's finish this lace and then see how late it is. 192. Tonight I have to do the ruffles at the hem and the waistband, and then I will be done with the skirt, and I can, I think, officially call this project finished. I would not attempt to do this thing again in a week because it's been a lot, but at least the finish line is within sight. So I've actually made a really severe miscalculation with my ruffles. When I went to cut them out, I had calculated them for a 15-inch section at the bottom, and my bottom section is 20 inches. So I don't actually have the length that I need for the ruffles to overlap each other the way that I wanted them to. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish putting the ruffles on this section. I'm going to put the waistband on the skirt and finish that. And then tomorrow when I go pick up Liz, I'm going to swing by the fabric store, buy some more lace, and then once we're checked into the hotel, I'm going to have my sewing machine with me, and I can just quickly add the lace and sew the bottom section onto the skirt, and that way it's ready to go for Saturday. My own fatigue is getting in my way, and it's been some years since I've done a con crunch where, like, before a convention you're finishing your costumes at 3 a.m. and you've gotten to the point where you're just using staples and hot glue and hoping it doesn't fall apart while you're walking down the hallway, and that's where I am right now. I am at the staples and hot glue phase, and I'm trying not to resort to dumb methods like that, things that cannot be undone, but my brain is trying to figure out ways to get this done by cutting corners, and I have to remind myself not to do that. Well, as I'm sure you can tell, this is not the hotel room. I have some chronic issues with my colon that decided to flare up on Thursday night, and we had to cancel the trip. The dress, that white blur behind me, is still kind of unfinished, so once my guts calm down, I'm going to finish that dress, because there are only a few things that need to be done on it. I'll need to do the button closures on the shirtwaist, I'll need to do the waistband, and I'll need to add the lace to the section where the ruffle part of it connects to the top half of the skirt. And then we can go and play in a rose garden or something and look froofy and frothy locally.
So you remember those pin tucks I was obsessed with putting into the skirt? Well, I used my pin tuck foot to add them quickly, and I absolutely hated them. They were wrinkly and ugly, and I couldn't get them to press flat, so I decided to just try and get rid of them by clipping the threads on the back of the pin tucks and hoping that the holes wouldn't show up in the fabric at all.
So something totally unexpected happened. I ironed the place where I had taken the pin tucks out, and you can't see the holes at all. There's nothing. It's imperceptible. So they vanished completely, which means I don't have to redo the pin tucks. Haha! Yeah. Okie dokie. So last night I finished up the lace on the skirt at this part right here, and I closed up the back seam and finished off the ruffles in the back. I also fixed the collar, which was about 2 inches too large, and I took that in and redid the back yoke, so that is now ready to go. And that means today I can finish up by putting up buttons on the back of the shirtwaist and putting a waistband on the skirt, and that will be it. Well, there they are. Buttons. Buttons are attached. Oh, I got these cute little like star buttons. They're just plastic, but they're pretty cute. So the shirtwaist is now finished, and that means I can put the waistband on the skirt and I will be done. And then I will go and frolic in the park. So final thoughts on this costume is it's not my favorite. I feel kind of potatoey, a little bit marshmallowy, and that's not a great feeling to have in a new costume, but I do feel better this time wearing it than I did last time. The first time I wore it, I went out to the woods to get some video, and it was July and it was 9,000 degrees and the blouse kept floofing up and like doing this, and I felt, yeah. But this time I went out to get a little bit more video in the woods, and I tucked the blouse into the petticoat itself because the petticoat has a drawstring. It can go a little bit tighter than the gown skirt. So I think that in the future, if I want to wear this again, that I'm going to put a drawstring channel or some ties or something around the actual waist of the blouse so that I can pull it tight and get it real snug so it won't ride up. Edwardian definitely is not my favorite. And when I first put this costume on, everything is sleek and in its place and looks great. I like it a lot. It looks really nice. And then as the day goes on and the blouse rides up and things start to droop, it just doesn't give me as much joy. I also think that once I get some more petticoats made and get a little more floof under the skirt and it gives me a bit of a wider silhouette down there, that'll also help me not hate it as much. But the narrower skirts just don't do it for me. And I think if I kind of move this more towards the 1890s instead of the Edwardian period, I might like it a bit better. But otherwise, I love how the yoke turned out. I love all these pin tucks and the lace, and I'm glad I took the time to do that. I forgot that I didn't put buttons on the sleeves, so they just kind of flop open. I need to do that eventually. The skirt waist actually turned out a little bit too large once I had my corset on. It was about 2 or 3 inches too big, so that needs to be fixed if I want to wear the skirt again, but that's not a big deal to fix. Tib, what are you doing? Hi. Hello, sir. This is now my first costume, my first new costume since the fire, which means it's now my only costume. So I need to really get back on it and start rebuilding my wardrobe, and I'm excited to do that, and I'm excited to have y'all along with me. So I will see you guys in the next video.